Welcome to episode 110 of Drew's Sports Crew. Here on this Sunday night, myself, Drew Skyberg, bringing you the news in the sports world. And look, right, Milwaukee sports, we just had a exciting weekend of sports, right? 4-1-4 day, of course, Friday. It was actually an Admirals game then, right? We had a nice 4-game set for Milwaukee Brewers. Everything, you take 3 of 4, excited, right? And then we get to Sunday, right? When we were waiting for the Milwaukee Bucks play game 1. That's kind of where our weekend, a bitter end to it, to say the least. We'll talk all about it here to start. But before we do that, right, going through those announcements, right, great to be back here. But at True Sports Crew, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, right? That's for power rankings, right? I got some NBA 1v1 competition things. I do NBA drafts, NFL drafts, all this great stuff. Again, all at True Sports Crew. Also, Team of the Weeks. We recognize teams collectively, recognize some betting, right? So your parlays, DFS, check that out. And on top of that, Fantasia Sports is doing an NHL $10 risk-free play, right? And you can join Fantasia with that link tree down below. I actually have a sign up right away there. So pretty convenient. NHL, again, $10 risk-free. Lose the parlay, you get your $10 back, risk-free. There you go. But again, check them out. Right, I want to talk scheduling, what's going on. So of course, tonight, episode 110, you're hearing me right now. And then we go to Tuesday at 4:15. Zach Roush and Jared Valeski will join myself, Drew Skyberg, on a new episode of Journey to Million. So keep that in mind. And then later this week, we're going to talk some betting. And again, if you're, we'll be bringing back some college content next week. We'll be talking with some college athletes. What they might be club athletes, right? Want to highlight, right, individuals who have exceeded at their college, right? Maybe not on like the team that's competing in the NCAA, but there's also some of these club teams that, right, are not just pretty reputable, they're very reputable club teams. So I want to talk with those athletes as well. So you're going to hear from them in the upcoming weeks. So keep that in mind. But let's get going here. I just want to highlight, this is my third postseason covering. I mean, like time flies when you're having fun, but third postseason for the Bucks. Started again their championship, right? The Bucks were the champions first year covering the postseason, but then again we go to last year. Remember the Boston series? We moved to year 3 here. We, of course, Bucks lose game 1 of a series. It just seems to be. I was actually texting Jared about this earlier today. It's just something we to just cover. Bucks start a series, you consider them down 1-0 sometimes. Unfortunately, it's okay. The Bucks end up being a team that can, handle this adversity, and they can perform very well, right? But let's talk game 1. What happened? Right? I mean, the story goes to Giannis, right? He exits early in the game with a lower back contusion. X-rays come back clean as the update. He's day-to-day. Next game being Wednesday, right? And again, I'll have the Bucks prediction challenge posted in the upcoming days. Also, the Brewer prediction challenge will be up tomorrow. But what I think will happen, I think Giannis will be good to go. And it's just, and it's crazy just with how durable Giannis has been throughout his career, right? I mean, think about some of the crazy plays he's been involved in. Think about, that, but he's been that durable guy who, and he's been able to just overcome some tough plays, some tough balls, right? I mean, just credit, right, his work ethic, and also just how he plays, right? But really, I mean, he's been as durable as it gets. So, we're hoping he's good to go Wednesday. But he was playing well too. I mean, you need Giannis Antetokounmpo if you're the Milwaukee Bucks. We all know that, right? And we're also, right, I mean, Whitnall native Tyler Hero, tough, right? Breaks his hand at the end of the first half there. Unsure of his status, so we'll monitor that. But that's a brutal loss for Miami there. So we're hoping he gets well there. I mean, Jimmy Butler. Talk about the Marquette guys. I mean, Jimmy Butler today, man, tough, right? 15-27, plus 17, plus minus 35 points for him. And then just some guys who are around, right? Adebayo, Gabe Vincent had a nice game. Really did. I mean, 15 points on 6 shots. Very efficient. 6 assists as well. Only 2 turnovers. I mean, impressive right there. I mean, Kevin Love also, right? When you go to the vets, 23 minutes, but a very good 23 minutes, 18 points, 8 boards for Love. It's exactly what they needed. Caleb Martin played well. I mean, this was mentioned on the broadcast a little, right? I mean, Miami has arguably their best shooting game of the year, their best offensive game of the year, and Milwaukee has one of its worst shooting games of the year at 11 for 45 shooting from three, 24% clip, and again, Miami shoots 60% from three. So, and what's all crazy about that is that Miami only wins by 13 when they shoot 60% from three compared to 24% for Milwaukee. I mean, when you have a shooting discrepancy like that, I would have suspected a 20+ point win right away. I credit the Milwaukee Bucks on a game where they might have not been, playing the best, right? On both sides, quite frankly, they still were able to put together, some sort of comeback in the fourth quarter. I mean, they're only down 8. So I was pleased with that. I mean, Bobby Portis was mystery efficient, 9 for 15. Over 5 from 3, though, but nobody's threes are falling. Like Holiday was 2 for 9, but Holiday had 16 assists, which was good to see. And again, Giannis exiting after only 6 points. Only 11 minutes, I should say, is probably the better indicator. I'm really hoping Giannis is back Wednesday. We're just going to have to keep posted day to day. But, from this first playoff game, we saw what Milwaukee has tended to do in years past where they lose that first round, the first game, that first round. We're hoping now for a nice sweep here. Win games 2 through 5. Game 2 again. It's a Wednesday. It's on NBA TV. So it's been frustrating with how the NBA playoff schedule has been. For example, we have the last game coming up here. It's in Denver. They have it at like 10:30 p.m. It is, and it's like you want actually Charles Barkley on inside the NBA hit it right in the nose, right? I mean, you want kids, you want people watching the game, right? I mean, we have this problem with the All-Star game too. Don't even get me started on that. We have this problem where we want people to watch the game, attract people to the game, but putting it at terrible times. I mean, come on, 10:30 at night. And it's like not about right. I mean, it's more about like having that younger audience watch, right? I mean, that's what we want, right? That's how we're going to grow the game. So that's frustrating to see from a basketball fan perspective, but you know what? We have then game, right? I mentioned game 2 on Wednesday. We have game 3 on Saturday. That one is in Miami. That's in ESPN. That'll be a fun one. I mean, I'm rooting for the series. I think the series for Milwaukee is a good test, right? I mean, this Miami team, right? They're 44-38, right? They're the definition of an 8 seed. But I think it's got to be a good test for Milwaukee. I obviously like Milwaukee winning in 5 or 6 now still, but I just think they're going to be a team that could challenge the Bucks in a way that will help them get ready. Because we've seen Miami or the Milwaukee play. Remember that year when they played Detroit in the first round? Like, come on, like that was an absolute, blowout in each game. It wasn't even close. So that's what I'm pointing to. But like Milwaukee's the story. Right, the guys who did not play: Marjai Beauchamp, Thanasis, Myers Leonard, Goran Dragic, Pat Connaughton. A little surprised on Connaughton in this, but Crowder only playing 12 minutes. That was the other thing. That was like, what's going on? Right? I mean, only 2 fouls. It wasn't like it was foul trouble. Grayson Allen plays 31. So I don't know. I personally wasn't a fan of Javon Carter getting some minutes over Crowder. That's just it's not that I don't like watching Javon Carter play. It's just I don't like him offensively, right? I mean the shot selection's not there. Sometimes it's it's inconsistent. In general, I mean he's a volume shooter, right? He's gonna want to try to take shots. If he's making them, he's gonna keep shooting. So we've seen that with Carter, but more looking at liked what Ingles brought today, like what Matthews brought today, like what Portis brought offensively. Just want to see Crowder out there more. I think that's what this team's looking for in game 2. So That's kind of my Bucks talk. Really, I mean, don't have much other than that. NBA power rankings are getting fun to do though, because now taking account the playoffs, right? Sacramento winning that 6-3. I talked about the Bulls having a shot, right? Last week was kind of the thing I said, right? Bulls maybe win the play-in, and they get to the 8 seed. It almost happened. We were so close. I was feeling good with the prediction, and then a few minutes left, Bulls just couldn't score. So also my Sacramento over Golden State pick is looking good 1 game through, so we'll take that. Right? It's those small victories. All right, let's go through now. Let's talk with the Milwaukee Brewers. What's going on here? So we had a full 7-game slate this past week, which I was talking about. Right, it was a not so fun series in Arizona. I don't know. I never like going to Arizona for a 3-game set. It's not like the West Coast trips in general. I always rant about this. It's just, it's not fun because it's so late. But whatever, you lose that tough game 3-0 Monday. Strike zone wasn't ideal for the Brewers. Wasn't ideal on both sides. I get it, but not a great game for Milwaukee. Tuesday, on the other hand, 7-1. Right? I mean, it's been the Rowdy Tellez show the last week. He could actually possibly get NL Player of the Week nods. We'll see. He's been on fire, but I don't think he will. Wednesday, they lose then 7-3, and we now get the Woodruff news in between this, so that's where we see some issues. So it sounds like Woodruff now is going to be out 2 weeks. All right, they're going to reevaluate him in 2 weeks. Will not require surgery, is what we got on Woodruff. So you're looking at the worst case, best case. This is not the best case. The best case was going to be, it was just sore, like some soreness or something. It was going to be like not much going on, but this is in the middle. This is like one of the median outcomes. We have they're calling it a shoulder strain is what, but we're thinking 2 weeks, right? Is the timetable is what at least I've heard. So unfortunate for Woodruff, his look phenomenal. He's actually my breakout pick. Not even to be a little biased, but really what Woodruff's done. First few starts, just that MRI could have went worse. We're happy that it's not as bad as it could have been, and we're wishing Brandon Woodruff the best. Hopefully he gets well. Colin Ray, though, comes in Thursday, has one of the best spot starts you can have. I mean, it was like 5 innings, a 1-run ball, looked good out there. Kept a really good Padres lineup. He kept them on their toes. So that was impressive to see from Ray, who, again, was a AAA guy who we were thinking was going to be, again, a spot start guy. I mean, I go to guys in past years. Remember what we saw from Jason Alexander last year? I can go farther. Alec Bettinger. Some spot start guys we've had. I think Colin Ray is that's actually going to be that's going to be an asset for this team, having a spot start guy who can, keep you in the games and let alone potentially win you a game. That was good to see. Colin Ray was 5 2/3 of 1-run ball. And again, he looked solid out there. But I want to go right. Freddie looked, Freddie, it was a tough game that Saturday, but I want to go to Sunday. Right today, Wade Miley puts together, vintage Wade Miley was what one might want to describe it as. He looked great. I mean, the changeup was working, all off speed was looking good, was making guys miss, locating, was getting some nice strike calls. Was living, was living the lower half of the plate. Really worked out well. Working low for Miley, right? Not having that blow by velo. It looked good. Of course, when a pitcher I'm describing like him, right? Lower velo. His FIP is going to be a lot higher. As we know, his FIP's 4.55. His ERA is 2.45. So just those baseball stats, how it ends up working out sometime. Lauer put together his best start of the year also this past week. So that was good to see. The velo is still down on. This was a concern I brought up a few weeks ago, or last week, I think it was already. Lauer's velo is down. Right, we're looking. Used to be what made him so attractive at the start last year, if you remember, it was he was touching 97. It was impressive, and right when he does that, his fastball usage right now is 46%. So he's been doing that, but he's been working in a cutter, which has actually complemented that fastball very nicely. Throwing that 26% of the time. But anyways, right, the pitch velo, the average fastball, 90.6. So the cutter actually working at 86 has actually been pretty nice. And again, his average fastball velo last year, 93.3. So I just want to highlight Lauer specifically because of kind of what we've seen from him. The Statcast stuff does not look good. They're not. It's all lower, more in the poor range, but he's producing results in the last start he was. We're hoping get him checked out. Hopefully everything's okay velo wise, because that's pretty alarming. I've mentioned. So anyways, I want to talk about Rowdy Tellez. Come on. 2 home runs Friday. My apologies. But he's looked offensively after that rough start. He's finally in his groove. Right? I mean, there's still that swing and miss, but what we've ended up seeing that's been actually complemented his game really nicely has been just, the long ball, right? As simple as it is, it's been working really nice in his favor. Had 2 home runs on Friday. Again, was right. I mean, he was getting like high changeup always at our high fastball, low changeup, golfs it out. Looked good on Rowdy's end. And their numbers right now, I guess, looking offensively, right, he's up to 5 home runs already. Average at 239, but OPS at 914. Again, we're only around, right, 50 at bats in the year or so for players. So really small sample size, but still, we're starting to get some sort of trend of what's going on. We have seen Joey Wiemer really cool off. Like when I say really cool off, he has. He's only got 9 hits this year. Strikeouts. Well, strikeouts for Yelich have been the alarming part. Yelich leads the team with 23 strikeouts. So tough for Wiemer. I'm hoping, but the defense has been so valuable out and right. It's actually his WAR is 0.6, and his WAR is majority. A lot of it's from defense. Really, his value defensively, in terms of defensive runs saved, has been what Milwaukee Brewers lead Major League Baseball, and I believe for sure lead the NL, but I think Major League Baseball. So that's love to see that. Right. I mean, the other thing we've seen is the steals, right? Garrett Mitchell today actually really wins the Brewers a game with his heads up base running, scoring that lone run, just being such a smart guy on the bases. You'd love to see that. Steals third with ease, right? Some other guys, Brian Anderson's cooled off, unfortunately. William Contreras, the power has not been there. I was looking at I was like, how was William Contreras done this year? I haven't really heard his name a lot. I haven't really seen like a lot from him, but you break down the numbers, it's a lot better than I thought. It's just only 2 doubles, no triples, no home runs. It's been a lot of singles, but the value he's gotten, 6 walks to 9 strikeouts, decent there. He's been putting the ball in play. We haven't had to worry about that. He's been playing. He's been pretty consistent behind the plate. His framing we've seen already in the first few weeks. It's skyrocketed, from last year in Atlanta. It's looked fantastic. I've been pleased with what I've seen from Contreras. Defensively, just again, offense, we're looking for more of that power, what we're missing from last year. And then Winker was out sick last week. Was dealing with like some flu-like symptoms, or I think it was bronchitis, and he came back today or yesterday. Sunday then's in the lineup, gets scratched with oblique tightness. He mentioned it was something with how much he was coughing. So ends up not playing Sunday. Sounds like he'll be good to go Monday or Tuesday. So I'm not worried. Again, we're in Seattle. These upcoming 3 games, which I'll be getting to shortly. Guys who I'm looking for to have a better week this week. Luke Voigt is certainly on top of the list with Joey Wiemer. Christian Yelich hits a home run. That was cool to see, but want to see more from him. And then, the other guys have been playing well. Not really too many complaints. Terang, Wadam has still been doing well. But let's go. 6 games this week on the prediction challenge. 3 in Seattle. So those are going to be 8:40, 8:40, 3:10. These are all Central times. Keep in mind. Off day Thursday, well-deserved off day. First off day since April 6th. Then we got a 3-game set at home against the Red Sox. Boston Red Sox coming to town. That'll be a cool series. And then this game, it goes 7:10 on Friday. The Yelly Tumbler on Saturday. I'll be there. I'm going to make sure I'm there. I want the Yelly Tumbler. Looks pretty cool. Then on Sunday, we have our Sunday Fun Day bundle. I was talking about this. It's, again, I want to highlight this because I really think this is an underrated deal. If you all want to get to the ballpark in Milwaukee, not many stadiums. I don't think any stadiums are offering a deal at this low. It's fans get 4 Terrace Reserve outfield tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas, and a parking pass. Parking pass for a weekend, keep in mind, is like $20, $15, $20. I believe it's actually $20. And this price together, $59. Good deal. I'd go for that, right? Hot dogs, sodas, parking pass, and the ticket. Parking pass is that's a third of the cost right there. I think that parking pass is a huge incentive in there itself. So love to see that. But anyway, 6 games this week. Looking forward to potentially Burns. They pushed starters back, but it looks like Burns could potentially get 2 starts this week. Love to see that. Otherwise, right, we'll still see it. See everyone else. We'll see Miley. I'm wondering what they'll do. Is Ray did he earn himself a second start? And when I say did he earn himself a second start, that start I'm thinking is going to come Wednesday then against Seattle, or it might come that Friday game. That's why the prediction challenge, I do have the Brewers losing on that Friday because I don't know how the rotation is going to balance out. I'm trying to forecast. Thinking Friday might be a tough one. Bullpen kind of got wore down today. Not really. Miley was it 6-7 strong, but was it Strzelecki and Williams? Williams used 30 pitches. He's not going to be available probably till Wednesday, maybe Tuesday. But I bring that up. I'm not a little worried about tomorrow with who's all available, who's not. I know we'll see Pyams, we'll see some other guys, but top guys aren't going to be available. And I don't know if there's going to be some off days in there because Brewers haven't had an off day again since Thursday the 6th. So I'm intrigued to see what they do tomorrow is all I'm saying. But those are the main things with the Brewers, the prediction challenge. Again, I didn't talk about the Milwaukee ones. 2 games this week. I say Milwaukee Bucks. Wednesday, Saturday. I have the Bucks winning both games. It's not even me just trying to be, biased. It's, I think Milwaukee will be fine here, right? Remember when they lost game 1 in the bubble to Orlando? Remember that? What about game 1 to Boston? That was 2 years ago. See, think about those series. Were they both 4 in a row sweet? Like they swept the rest of it? Pretty sure that was the case. So I'm not worried at all about that. Focusing right on our Milwaukee sports right now. Admirals are starting playoffs as well. So if you like the AHL, honestly, I love talking about my sports experiences here right on the show. Right, we love sports. I think AHL is pretty underrated, right? It was a fun experience. I mean, all the games I've been to last 2 years have been great. They actually do concerts now on they've been doing last few years. They actually bring in like a pretty well-known band, pretty well-known artist, and they'll have them perform a concert after the game to keep people staying. So the Stone Temple Pilots came in on Friday. They're a rock band, so they came in. They did a show. Not really a rock guy, but I had some appreciation for it, right? But games, they do pizza vouchers. They do great giveaways. They give away Summerfest tickets. It's a really fun experience, and it's for all fans. It's not first 30,000, first 10,000, first they don't do that there. It's you're a part of everyone who goes to the game is going to be able to get something. For most likely, that's how most of their giveaways are. So really like what the Admirals are doing. Really pleased with how they're filling up the UW Milwaukee Panther Arena too. So just wanted to shout them out, right? If you want to go to a hockey game, or maybe you don't have to like hockey game. You pick up the game, you go, good experience, great food there. They have ice cream, they have bubble waffle ice cream. cones you can get. It's actually incredible. So I would recommend just going there. Very interactive, very welcoming. So yeah, Admirals games are the move in my opinion. In these winter, and the season's long too. It's from fall to like April. It's like September, October to April. I didn't realize it was that long until I looked at the schedule. Like playoffs start up now, pretty sure, but wasn't always a big hockey guy, but I really have some respect for what the AHL has done, especially here in Milwaukee with the Admirals. So just want to shout them out here before we wrap up. But yeah, go Milwaukee Bucks, go Milwaukee Brewers, and go on Fantasia Sports. And that's gonna wrap it up here. Also, follow at Drew Sports Crew. That's gonna wrap it up here for myself, Drew Skyberg, here on this Sunday night. Thank you all for listening to another episode of Drew Sports Crew, the perfect podcast for you.